Aloha everyone. So what we have here are two 55-gallon plastic totes with covers. We have some flat white enamel paint. We have some cloth material, and we have some plastic 4-inch plastic corrugated drain pipe. Now what does that mean for you guys? Well, probably nothing. But what it means to me is the beginning of my raised bed garden experiment. More specifically, a wicking bed. A wicking bed. So what that means is I'm going to create a reservoir in each one of these containers. I'm going to make two beds, right? One out of each container. I'm going to create a void in the bottom of each container that I'm going to use to fill water in. And the plants are going to get watered from the bottom up. So it's called bottom watering. And from everything I've read, that's the more efficient way to garden, because you lose a lot of your water through evaporation when you top water. And you really got to soak in your plants to get that water to get down to the roots. This way, the soil is your wicking media. So that's why it's called a wicking bed. The soil will draw the water up from the reservoir and into the soil. And it keeps the soil at the perfect moisture point. Because if it gets oversaturated, the water will form water droplets and drip back down to the bottom. So it's supposed to keep the bed perfectly watered. And because you're creating a big reservoir, you don't have to water as frequently, maybe once a week or so. We'll see once I get this thing up and running. Now, this is new for me. I've never done this before, and it's going to be an experiment, and I thought it'd be cool to bring you guys along for the ride. So let me show you guys what this French drain pipe looks like. So this is plastic corrugated pipe. It's 4 inches in diameter, and each piece is about 10 feet long. If you look there, you can see the light coming through right there. So in between each one of these corrugations there's a slit there, and what that does, it allows water and air to go inside and outside of the pipe through the sides, right? Lets it breathe. So we're going to use this to create our void in the bottom of our containers, and keep our fingers crossed. Wish me luck. I'll bring you guys along for this experiment, and I hope you guys learn something. Well, I'm sure I'm going to learn something, but I hope you guys get something out of it. Right? We'll see you in a bit. Here we go. Yeah. That's the one, bro. First thing we're going to do is measure out the bottom of this tote. Where we at? They're about 39 long. And about 14 wide. Okay, well, start cutting some of this corrugated pipe and start setting up our void. Be right back. So I cut the lengths of pipe that fit at the bottom, and one 10-foot length fit almost perfectly. I only wasted just about an inch or two. And now I'm gonna try to I gotta figure out how to put a void in here right in the middle. I'm probably gonna cut a section out here and then install a pot or something that sits in there, that sits all the way to the bottom there, that can wick. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Stay tuned. Here we go with a little bit of an update. I painted the two totes white, and it took just about one spray can for each tote, and I covered the sides all the way around, left the bottom unpainted, and got about 4 to 5 inches down in the on the inside. I think I'm gonna go back over it again, though. I can see some of the black bleeding through. I painted these last night, and I suspected there's gonna be some bleed through, but it doesn't look too bad. Anyway, these are the French drain pipes that I cut, and these are the sleeves that I'm gonna put over the pipe, and this is a finished pipe. So this sleeve is gonna keep the dirt, rocks, and silt and stuff from building up in the pipes. So I'll be back when we get further along. Okay, next step in the building of this bed is drilled a 1-inch hole that's supposed to fit a 3/4 inch tubing in pretty snugly, and it looks like it is pretty snug. That's gonna be the drain. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna fill this up with water, And when the water gets to this point, it's just gonna overboard. It's gonna drain out. I'm gonna cut this back a little bit. It's just a link that I had. And what it also does, it allows for if there's a lot of rain and this thing fills up because of the rain, it'll just overboard. It'll just keep dumping out until it gets to the right level. Okay, and then I put the sleeve and I cut a doorway in it. And I took a fill pipe, cut it, not quite in half, but like a quarter. So I can stick that down in there. And that's how I'm gonna fill it. So I'm gonna fill it through this pipe right here. It's gonna go down into that tube. It's gonna fill up these tubes. And when it gets to that height where this is set at, it'll drain out, and then I'll know it's full. So, be back when I get a little farther along. Update time. So what I've done so far is I've put the filtering element around the pipe, the sock. And then I cut the middle pipe and left a 6-inch or so space there, and that's where the soil is going to go all the way down. That's going to be your wick. Now all the oil is going to, all the oil, all the soil is going to sit on top of these pipes, but that one section is going to go all the way down. That's going to be your wick. Like I said, it's the fill pipe, 2-inch fill pipe. You're going to fill in from here. It's going to go down into here. It's going to fill up and filter out through the hose, fill up these pipes, and when we get to a certain level, it's going to overboard right here. And I think I'm going to put I have weed barrier I'm going to put in here, weed barrier material that I'm going to put the soil in, and I think that's going to, I don't think I need to do that, but I'm just going to do it anyway because I have it. Weed barrier allows moisture to pass through and air, but not dirt, just like these these socks. Okay, we'll be back. It's coming along. For reference, this is the soil I'm using for my raised wicking beds. It's a Sunshine Mix number 4, made by Sungrow. Very, very good stuff. Good ingredients, very clean, very professional grade of potting soil. This is what I'm putting in. Update. So I got these 2 bins where I want them, the 2 beds where I want them. I used a level and I leveled them off. The grass in the back is all dead because I killed all the grass because there's a lot of weeds in there. I'm going to replant grass, or I'm going to put gravel, I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I filled one bed about 3/4 of the way and one about halfway, and I'm trying to test the watering system with the different heights. So I'll just leave it overnight and see what we come up with. So this bed's about 3/4 full. This bed's just a little under a half full, maybe a quarter full. And I filled them up and took about 3 minutes each one. The water started coming out. Then I topped watered to get the to moisten the soil to start the wicking action, and water was dripping out. So it looks like it's working good. So we'll see. We will see. Here we go for a quick update. It's been 3 days since I've watered these beds. As you can see, this bed is super moist. I mean, downright wet. But it's only about a quarter full, so I expected that. This one is about 3/4 full. You can see it's kind of dry, but if you just dig on just a little bit, look at this, man. Dark, moist earth, just a little bit below the surface. Dust this away. It's right here. Look at that, wet. Pretty cool, man. So I think for testing purposes, this is done. It works, it wicks. Just below the surface is a nice moist layer of dirt. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in the rest of the dirt. I'll be back later. Okay guys, I wanna show you how I fill the bed. So I got my water hose pinched off right now. I'm gonna remove this cap right here. It's just slightly on there. I'm gonna have to modify that so it doesn't stick. Hose in. There we go. Now my hose is on full blast. And the reason why I'm using the 2-inch pipe is so that it doesn't back up on me. And all I do now is watch for that. could start spilling water out. And the last time from empty took me 3 minutes. This is 30 seconds and I got water coming out already. Which means in 3 days I didn't use very much water at all. And then I'm gonna wet this soil down because I just put it in just to make sure everything's damp and the wicking action continues. Okay, so water coming out, so that means it's full. 30 seconds in 3 days, that's all I have to do. It's pretty awesome, dude. I'll be back with some more updates later. Alright guys, take it easy. Hey everyone, if you're seeing this, that means you watched the video all the way to the end. Thanks. Anyway, I wanted to add this on to cover some of the mistakes in the video. There are a couple, and one of them is the drain hole. I said I drilled a 1-inch hole to fit the 3/4 inch drain tube, but actually I used a 3/4 inch drill bit to make the hole, not a 1-inch. And also on the end that I insert into the container, I put a piece of weed cloth on that to keep dirt and stuff from coming out or anything crawling in. And I stuck that pretty far in the container and pressed it up against and into the sock material of the piping. Also, I didn't say how far up I drilled the hole or over. And any of the videos or literature you read or videos you watch will tell you that if you have a 4-inch pipe, which is what I had, you just measure 3 inches up and you drill your hole, because you want to leave a 1-inch air gap in there so that your water doesn't turn anaerobic, allows air to be in there. But you know, when I put the pipes in, it didn't actually sit all the way down at the bottom, so I had to figure that out. So it's about 1 inch of airspace I gave in there. So we'll see. We'll see if it works out. This is an experiment after all, right? Man, look at me. I'm super brown. I was at the beach all weekend. It was for the weekend, but we went there on the night of the 4th and we camped out. It was just me and my cousin and his son and my nephew, just family members just hanging out. Very cool, man. Had a great time. And then the next day was awesome. We had breakfast and we had planned to make a dinner and all that, so more people came down, a lot of our friends. It was awesome. It was an awesome time until I got stung around my neck by a Portuguese man-o-war. Got me right in the neck, dude, twice. I don't think it was the same one, but I know I got stung around the neck and my arm and under my armpit, and it's unusual. Usually you'll catch the Portuguese man-o-war will show up in Hawaii, and it's usually 12 days after the full moon when you'll get it. So I think because of the way the wind was and all that. Anyway, I saw him. It was a big boy. It was pretty big, and I swam away from him. So I took the tentacles off. The first one I got that hit me, and as I was backing away swimming, I swam right into another one, and he got me in the neck too, man. All in my neck. And anyway, I couldn't breathe. So after about 15 minutes or so, I went back up on the shore and I was hanging out with my friends. I took a shower, rinsed off or whatever, and I was trying to be brave. I hang out with a bunch of really good dudes, man. They're all all good dudes, but you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy, right? Oh, I got stung. I gotta go home. Wah. Anyway. So I tried to stick it out, and then my heart started racing, and I started having a hard time breathing, like wheezing when I was driving. I was like, dude, I gotta leave, so I rolled out. But anyway, I'm good. Took some Benadryl, got some rest, put some vinegar on those stings, and I was all good. Anyway, sorry for the rabbit trail. That should be my nickname, right? Rabbit trail. Anyway, also with back to the totes, back to the raised bed. I painted them white because one of the guys I watched on YouTube made a lot of sense. He lives in Texas and he has wicking beds, and the white helps reflect the sunlight so it doesn't heat up. Black heats up, and I don't know if you've ever touched like black pots in the sun. It gets hot, man. So I figure, what the hell, man, get some spray cans, and it's got to be enamel if you're gonna use it on plastic. Don't get cheap stuff, get enamel. And I don't know, the paint stuck pretty good and not much prep on the containers, so we'll see. Is that it? Yeah, so the fill pipe is a 2-inch fill pipe, and the reason why I did that is because that same dude that painted the containers white talked about the right size of fill pipe. And if you make it too small, it's gonna choke up, right? So if you let water in there too fast, it's gonna back up on you and spill backwards. So with that big fill pipe, dude, I can run my hose wide open, and it just no problems. So that's cool. That works out cool. Yeah, I think that's it. We covered all the stuff I felt like I missed in the video. It was a pretty cool build and stuff, but I was so stoked and fired up about doing the build. I don't have anything to plant in there. I don't even know what to plant, man. I mean, I know I want to plant some kind of like, I saw this cool like Italian heirloom tomato online that I wanted to try to grow, but I don't know. Before I grow something that cool, I better make sure the thing actually works, right? Anyway, so I want to grow some tomatoes and maybe some beans. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe if you guys get any suggestions, man, drop it in the comments. That's about it. So, hey, thanks for watching the video. And as always, I pray our risen Lord and Savior will bless you guys all greatly. You guys take care. Aloha.